Back in 2020, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in digital photography from ASU, and from January to May was my capstone class as well. And I needed to make something that would speak to my formal training that I had over the years until graduation. And we were highly encouraged to talk about the pandemic as it being a historical moment, but also maybe something we didn't want to tackle because we were so unsure about it, but at the same time that could be a benefit, etc. But after about halfway through the semester, March, when we had the stay-at-home order initially, I landed on a photo book, and that became this, titled Premonition. Premonition is a archival set of images that I've taken throughout my photography career since I picked up a camera at 16. And I went through all of my images and chose images that I felt spoke to the tension and the buildup of COVID, but also kind of just in like a 1 to 3 month span of when it first arrived. And then towards the end of that semester, May into the summer, I also created a set of propaganda posters to go with that. That was more of like a, this is our reality now. And I'm hoping to open up an exhibition soon at one of my local galleries, and I'll speak about it when and if that happens. But I really just want to talk about this book, Premonition. And with the archival photos, it will speak for itself. I actually want to read this mission statement. It began as a premonition. It has since transformed into an episodic chronological derailment of people's security and hope. In a time of bewilderment, I came to face the reality of limitations in the current state of the pandemic during the stay-at-home order in California. Working as an essential employee, I am able to bear witness to the emptiness that has swept across the southern region. I wanted to speak to the underlying realism behind specific situations that curtails an individual's emotions based off their position during the pandemic. These photographs tell of how we got from point A to point B in just a matter of a month. It is a time unlike any other and will be a historical moment to reflect on, and this is documentation of just its first arrival. Who knows what comes next? The rest is unknown. And with that, that was the spark of what I believe to be the solo exhibition that will tell the beginning, middle, and after, with the vaccine rolling out around this time. I will probably make a final segment for this show, and hopefully I will be able to release it to the public in a public space that we can all kind of view it, talk about it, and kind of just in a way heal, but also like mourn and just kind of have all the emotions that we have around COVID, where some people thought it was a hoax, and some people have actually had personal family members die. And so I just kind of think it'd be a really interesting experience for all of us to just have a space to talk about it. And with that, I just wanted to show you some of the photos that are in this book.
So when you first open the book, it'll lead you into the mission statement I read earlier. And that's kind of the artist statement that actually fuels this specific story, this part of the journey, if you will. And we open up with a mere quote that was written by my friend Kevin here. And then this book consists of self-portraits, portraits of people I've known over the years. They may or may not know that they are in this book, to be honest. But yeah, it's just what I pictured their reaction to be at some point during this pandemic, and whether this is a universal feeling or not, I believe so. And that's where the flag comes in. The flag's actually part of another series that I worked on called The Neighborhood, which will be released in print in the next few weeks. And then I also felt like it belonged in this series because of the national feeling we felt in the US itself, but it even goes beyond that to a national level with COVID. And I'm actually really curious to see what people think about this flower photo that I included towards the end. And then here's just the artist bio that I abide by with everything I make. So yeah.
They may seem a little out of context because you kind of need to see the full book for it to make sense. If you go on to blurb.com, you can just type in my name and this book will come up. You can type in Dune Stewart or Premonition, it'll come up and it's on sale there. This book is kind of a fluid motion of going from the very beginning of the pandemic to maybe towards when we started doing a little bit more like outside dining and stuff like that. But then that's when I started making the propaganda posters as well. And those are kind of speaking to the emotional side of being inside every day, all day. And it's just like us being done with it, but at the same time, like understanding that it's also still a risk to go outside and yeah, just everything. But I am pretty excited about how this book came out, and I just totally forgot to introduce it to the public because we were all dealing with our own lives. But yeah, I think if you're interested, you can definitely pick one up on Blurb. And once again, sorry if you know any print shops or anybody who can do this better and cheaper. Totally into it. Just send a link. But yeah, I'm still really happy with the publication of the book. The way they flipped to the same photo. There is a mixture of black and white and color in the book, but it is mostly black and white. So you can find Premonition on blurb.com. The price is $272.39. It's a hardcover image wrap. It is lay flat prints and pages, and then it is large format. It is a large format landscape of 13 by 11 inches or 33 by 28 centimeters, and it is 88 pages with maybe just some discretionary like blank pages just for the flow of the book. But yeah, this was actually released last May. So it was actually interesting coming back to this a year later, or almost a year later, just to see how far we've come through the pandemic. And I mean, we've been shut down again and again and again, and open back up, and then closed down again. So I think it's really important for me to have that opportunity to have this be a part of the solo show that I hope to do once we're allowed to go back outside and live life normally. So yeah, I hope you pick up a copy of this, or if not, then I am going to upload where you can look at all of the photos digitally, and then if you feel so inclined, then you can purchase a copy. I will also probably just make a whole section on my website for Premonition to Live, where it's going to be the contents of what I hope the solo show to be, and just when we get there, it'll be a print version, that's all. But yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, feel free to check out Premonition on blurb.com, or it will be on my website very shortly in the next couple days. And then yeah, that's about it. Have a good day.